everybody.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Arctic Blast edition of TFT's monthly Modality message. So, happy birthday, Aquarians. You're starting on a way too cold note here.
Seriously speaking, we are a little cold here. We are in the Detroit area experiencing some very freezing, colder than normal temperatures.
Very frigid. We're under a cold weather warning for the next 3 days. 4 days, maybe, actually.
But this is TFT Tarot for today. Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee, and we are here to do the monthly modality message. As the sun moves into each new sign, we look at your modality energies and figure out how you work with your cronies or with others in general, what you can do to make success happen, and also what is your secret power.
Basically, it's about using your modality well in the month ahead. And this reading is good for the entire Aquarius season.
She knows I always sneeze twice. She should have just remembered.
It should have been 3.
Well, sometimes it is 3.
So, we're wearing our snugly warm clothes just to emphasize the horrid cold weather we're experiencing.
And here
even
comes the
Sunny.
Sun. Hi, Sunny.
He feels cold.
Now settle down.
It's not going to let me put it anywhere I can reach it, right? No, not on my computer. You got all this room here. Hey, all this room. Hey, all that room. So why don't you talk about who we're starting with, Mr. O?
Okay, so we're starting off with the Cardinal modality signs. There are 3 different modalities. Cardinal's the first ones, and the Cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. And if you notice, that's one each of the elemental signs. So each cardinal has one each of the elemental signs, and that means there's something about that modality that makes those signs more similar in some respects, at least. So at any rate, here we are with the positives of the cardinal signs, which my charming assistant will now detail.
I certainly will go fast through them all. The positives are we're initiators. We get things started. We're active, quick, drive, ambitious, vim, vigor. No slackers. We're enthusiastic. We have a zest for life. We're clever and we want to win. And we do have a few negatives. Everybody does, right? So we're a little domineering. We're self-centered. We're forgetting about others as they focus on their stuff. Guilty. Often don't finish what we start.
Alrighty then. Finish what I started.
I'll try.
So, for the Cardinals, what is the primary focus for this modality in the month ahead?
Okay, it's the 5 of Wands reversed. So the primary focus looks to be, possibly one of 2 things. Walking away from an argument or disagreement, just deciding, I've had enough of this. Maybe moving away from a group or a job where there's a lot of contention or fighting or bad feelings, things like that, disagreements. Nobody wants to do the same thing. Or it could be that actually maybe somebody's been able to reach agreement and things start to smooth over. But I think it's more the former stuff.
Well, when you consider, some of that, can-do kind of stuff with the Cardinals, then it may be that they've kind of run into this contention with others about, how everybody fits in on the team. And so it sounds like, they're going to really have a little bit of a contentious environment around them, either because, people sort of want to call them on their go it alone or whatever nature, or the fact that that's just what's happening around them.
Well, sometimes when we focus on our own stuff, cardinal signs, we get a little hot under the collar when we can't do our stuff and we have to put something else first. So let's try to be a little bit more magnanimous in the month ahead. Or, if you're just in a situation that's really bad and ugly, maybe it is time to move on.
All right. So card 2 is the role that your interactions, cardinal signs, with others will play in this month ahead.
It's the Hierophant reversed. That's interesting considering even the first card here, because I guess what it's saying is you're going to take a different radical approach to how you deal with others in this month ahead. It's possible too, Maybe I would just say, if this is standing alone and not part of the issue going on here with the Five of Wands, maybe you're going to meet some unusual characters in this month ahead. Maybe you're going to go out and meet some people who are pretty different with either beliefs or traditions or, something that makes them really interesting and different to you.
It almost feels like it does spin off of the first card, where maybe it's saying, like, you're not really working out with the folks that you should be, so maybe you're going to go looking for some new people to play with. And of course, this could apply to mostly you in your private life. I don't think you can necessarily have that luxury in a workplace unless you just go to the office on the next floor and just start hanging there in your spare time. But it does feel that way. It feels like you're sort of feeling like you need to branch out a little bit, maybe share more of yourself that maybe you've been holding back.
Card number 3 is the opportunities or challenges the cardinal signs may face in the month ahead. How best can you achieve or tackle them?
Ouch.
Boy, have we been seeing this a lot. We saw it a lot on our show today, did we not? Anyway, it's the Ten of Swords. Upright.
Oh, sharper than a serpent's tooth.
That is definitely a challenge, but maybe it's an opportunity too, because if you are operating in a very contentious situation, cardinal signs, where nobody's getting along, there's a lot of fighting, a lot of backbiting, maybe a lot of backstabbing, right? Maybe there's an opportunity for you here. That light, go towards the light, walk away if you can. If it's a situation that is just starting to be too intense and you don't feel right about it, it's time to move on.
The challenge is facing off to a shiv, so watch your back, I think, a little bit. But it's not for definite that this could happen, but this could be the challenge, is that there may be people or situations that sort of feel they need to reduce your influence in some manner. So where does this leave us? Card 4. How can you use your modality superpower to the best advantage this month?
Oh my gosh. Well, good luck, cardinal signs. It's a Tower reversed. Well, okay. So that's the problem, your modality superpower wants you to win. But you're not going to win if you keep doing the same old things in the same old way. So in other words, if this all fits together here, or a lot of this, you leaving the situation behind might be the way to go. Because if you keep spinning your wheels there, and putting up with the same kind of things over and over again, you're not gaining anything from this. Move forward.
Avoid a not good part of your superpower, because the negative part of your superpower is that you are too domineering, and if you become that way, self-centered, focusing only on yourself, you're forgetting that your strength is really trying to find peace and work with these people. You're the one that most people try to look to start something new. Don't let that something new you start be, a crashing defeat with no lessons learned.
Well, so you want to be starting something, but you really don't want to be starting this. You don't want to be starting all this and this fighting. I know. I couldn't resist. I actually was inspired by you and your statements there.
Okay. So are we recapping, or is that
Well, we can recap briefly. I still think here that maybe, right, you're going to have to take an unorthodox approach to a situation that is really kind of argumentative, difficult to deal with, nobody getting along. You have to take a different approach if you want to work with this, or maybe this is thinking outside the box to how you can move away from it, or it's something else entirely. I really feel some of you cardinal signs might be reaching out and mixing it up with different types of people or different types of experiences, doing something radically different for you in this month ahead. Maybe in the sign of Aquarius, it's time to, spread your wings and socialize in places maybe you haven't before.
The overall tenor of this month ahead is that, people are edgy and that your interactions with them are going to be edgy. And it's more important for you to possibly figure out how you can really work with others and not make them want to stab you in the back.
I really think whatever the situation is, it's probably best to not keep repeating it. It doesn't seem like it's going in a good place, right?
So that's Cardinals.
That's the cardinal signs. Let's move on to the fixed signs. Those are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius.
That's right, baby.
Should I go to the negatives first?
Go right ahead if you wish.
The positives. You know what? They're Aries, steadfast and stable. They're determined and resolute. They're self-reliant. They forge ahead calmly, working on their objectives, remembering those who helped them. Yes, I know they do. Persistence, concentration, powerful yet purposeful. They have no wasted motions. And that's true. You should see them in the supermarket. At any rate, negatives. They're stubborn. They can be my way or the highway. No. With their thinking. Tendency to get stuck in their ways. And they believe they are never wrong. They are always right. I'm looking at you, sir.
I'm channeling Geraldine. A persona of the old comedian Flip Wilson. I may not always be right, but I am never wrong.
All right, one more shuffle from me. There you go.
All right.
Well, let's move on to the reading. So, the primary focus for the mutable signs in the month ahead.
And it's the 9 of Swords. Is that right? 9? 4.
That's a 4.
Sorry, it's
That's
my
all right.
glasses. It's the 4 of Swords, and it's upright.
4 swords upright. Oh, boy. Well, it's a primary focus. How about some rest? How about some R&R? How about doing what we're doing here and hibernating in your little snuggly? Taking it easy. You may need some rest. The flu is going around rampant in this country, mutable signs. So do take care of yourself and, rest if you are sick.
Fixed signs may find that they're feeling a little bit like pulling back, and most... Right, we're on the fixed.
We're on the fixed signs. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I
But
said
you read
mutables.
for the fixed signs.
I wish you had corrected me. I said mutables, but no, we're fixed. We're fixed signs.
I thought you read
I
the
did.
qualities for the fixed. Okay.
But when I was speaking, I said.
I understand. So the primary focus, I think, the fixed signs are going to want to kind of pull back a little bit, and it could be at least, in this part of the world, because it's very cold, and this would be a good time to kind of retreat a little bit. You just may be finding that you're not really ready to deal with a lot of things or people right now.
Well, yes, mutables are fixed signs. See, why am I doing that?
I don't know.
Cardinals, fixed,
I could
mutable.
only speculate.
We do this every...
Because you're always right. That's
We
why.
do this every freaking month. Okay, so fixed signs. Really, take it easy if you need it. And maybe, you need a break from the old grind. Maybe for some reason, this month, January's getting back to work after holidays, etc., has been really taking a toll on you. So take a break if you need it.
All right, then. So card 2 is the role that the fixed signs' interactions with others will play in this month ahead. And it's the Empress, and she's upright, so that's
Great.
Wonderful.
That is great. It shows that maybe, other people too are concerned about you. Maybe they're worried about your well-being and health, and they're going to be very cooperative and receptive to you either taking the time off, or if you have to cancel some engagements. People will be very understanding. Maybe you'll get some gifts of chicken noodle soup. I also think that, despite the fact that you might be laying low, sometimes when we have to recoup our energy, these periods can be very creative times. You might drift off daydreaming more. You might have some inspirations just pop into your head. So remain open to that.
Well, it sort of looks like people have your best interest at heart, and maybe you might find that people will want to bring things to you and help you flourish yourself in that way too, like, working remotely while you're resting or healing, if that might be appropriate, or finding ways to, overcome that feeling of solitariness by maybe calling you out a little bit and remembering to invite you to some of the events of this next, month or so. Valentine's Day.
I feel I have to say one other thing here. This is a very mothering kind of card. So I could say that some of you might be resting up after having a baby. I can see that. So take it easy. Don't expose yourself to stuff if you're having a baby. But the other thing about this is it's very mothering. So I think of your mothers. And so maybe the person that might need some recuperation and rest is your mother, and you might be taking care of her.
How interesting.
I had to say it. I felt it when I looked at that.
Okay, so...
All right, so card 3 is the opportunities or challenges you may face in the month ahead and how best to achieve or tackle them.
And it's yet another major arcana.
Yeah.
It's strength reversed. And, that almost sounds like, the opportunity or challenge is going to be keeping your temper in certain respects. That there may be situations that maybe it's because of this, but it's probably something a little bit else, I think, where you're just going to try to have to hold down yourself from overstating certain things or being overly assertive, overly aggressive.
Well, I like that. I would say that's a pretty good thought. I would also add that maybe some of us, the way we're reacting to all of this, is that we really feel, kind of pressured to push ourselves a little harder during this time. If you're taking care of someone else, okay? If you're taking care of someone else like your mom, or if you're pregnant, you might be feeling, have to have the baby's room together, don't put too much pressure on yourself after you've given birth to a child. And I think here, too, this is just a sign that you may feel the need to, you may get angry, like he said. I'm kind of feeling that too. You may feel a little bit aggressive. You may be upset at different things. You may just get upset at being cooped up if you are sick. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. it feels kind of funny with these cards. It feels like there's a lot of energies going on for fixed signs that are maybe causing them to be a little edgier than normal overall.
Well, I'm seeing apples and oranges here for them, that some of this might relate to some and the other two more different fixed signs. So, yeah.
Card 4 then. How will you use your modality superpower to its best advantage in the month ahead? And it's the reversed Knight of Wands.
Oh, well, stubborn. Talk about stubborn and unyielding in a way. I mean, there are more stubborn ones in the Knights than the Knight of Wands. But I can see you getting stuck. Just getting stuck and unable to really move forward here. And maybe it's possible here that that's what you need to do right now, though. Maybe you need to take care of yourself or your family. You need to do that. Maybe you have to be stuck.
In a sense, it's almost like you will also maybe double down a little bit on this assertiveness that I was talking about here, because it may be about really just you deciding, you're going to have to be a little bit more selfish right now. And it's
Set
not so
the
much
boundaries.
that... Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, once again, the reverse of your superpower, but used for what your superpower needs to do. And that was kind of like the case that I saw with the Cardinals in a way. So it's interesting. It almost makes you feel like there's some, retrograde motions going on.
Mars is retrograde. That's pretty, and that's aggressive energy. So it's hard
a brief recap.
Well, a brief recap would be, I really feel that you need a break. You need a break either to take care of someone else or to take care of yourself. I don't know.
You need a break maybe also too, just so that you can focus on things you've been letting going, like creative pursuits of your own. Maybe you've just been doing too many other people's work or situations.
And you're going to have to kind of push yourself, it looks like to me. That's the opportunity or challenge here. I guess the challenge is that you feel like stressed and that you have to push yourself to get anything done, or to do some of the work. Maybe you feel a lot of care of somebody else is being put on your shoulders, for example.
And in my thought, I thought it might be that, you might hold back, or need to hold back on some of your more, violent outbursts of some sort, especially verbally. But finally, your modality superpowers, maybe you just are going to have to try to be a little bit more stubborn for your own sake, because it may be the only way you'll create the full circuit for yourself.
So fixed signs, if you feel stuck, maybe it's because you are. I mean, maybe it's because you're sick or whatever.
Yeah.
Try not to get angry about it. Try not to push yourself too hard. I really think that's the key this month. And let others support you. It looks like you may have some support from others to get you through a rough patch.
More than anywhere else is what it looks like.
So don't alienate them, fixed signs.
Already.
Hey, you have something here that says, remember those who have helped you. All right.
So
we're moving on.
Now we are on to the actual mutable signs.
Yes.
Gemini,
Here you are.
Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. I guess I'll read the positives.
Okay. That's a lot.
So,
it's a mouthful.
There's a mouthful here. The mutables are known for going with the flow, being adaptable and flexible, versatile, highly resourceful, and they're easy to change. They change whenever necessary. They can assume other personas. They're the chameleons of the zodiac, and they're well liked by others. They enjoy learning, playing fair, being diplomatic, sharp, sympathetic. They can see below the surface. They are selfless and quick to help others. But
you would think they're saints. But they do have a dark side. Sometimes they try too hard to please people and can be considered wishy-washy. They can be a little bit inconsistent because they're trying to please everybody, right? And maybe some people think they're being duplicitous in the process. They can stretch themselves to the breaking point. Don't do that. All right.
don't be that person.
Don't break. Bend, don't break.
All right then. So on with the show. What is their first card? The primary focus for the mutables during this month.
Well, mutables, it's the Queen of Wands reversed. Well, how nice of you to let other people go into the limelight before you. I think for some reason here you're holding back. You're holding back your talents, your skills, or your visibility. You maybe don't want to be seen for some reason.
Well, another possible meaning is that maybe you are being a little bit too aggressive, and that maybe you're also going to find out that you do have to take a quieter approach, because maybe in the past your more aggressive approach didn't yield any results for you.
I'm unhooding.
Okay.
All right, card number 2. The role your interactions with others may play in the month ahead. Oh. Huh. Well, maybe you're holding back because you really are being magnanimous. Maybe you know it's somebody else's time to shine. You know, or maybe others are really trying to seek you out. They're trying to seek you out because they think you can save that project that's going down the toilet, or, or do something that they need done. And that's why you're hiding out. But I feel here more likely you may be wanting to support people.
It's kind of interesting because normally mutables are a little bit more going along and more like they're the spirit carriers for other teams, But these cards have sort of both shown that there's either an aggressive or a forward progressive slant to your recent actions. And so the interactions with others is indicating that people feel they're bound to have a better outlook if they're working with you, or if they're taking wisdom or resources from you.
Well, I know one of your superpowers is to help others, and so that's why I'm thinking you're being very supportive of other people's hopes and ambitions this time. Maybe you're volunteering to help somebody with a project they're working on. That's sort of where I'm coming from with this, but I don't know. Let's see what the rest of the cards show.
Opportunities or challenges that you face in this month ahead, and how you might be able to tackle them.
Well, I feel kind of bolstered by this. It's the 3 of Pentacles upright. It seems like working with others is the key this month, and how you do it. Maybe it is supporting others. Maybe you have to help somebody to the point where you have to lead a project or an assignment of some sort.
It just seems to me like maybe the idea comes through that you can find a way to really find your position in the team or in the situation that's going on. It clearly looks like you're really going to be the brains of the operation. That kind of does take us back maybe to the original card, but maybe it's just in your approach of trying not to be, in my estimation, as aggressive as you might have been perceived. And so this is really a call for you to work more with protocols and with situations, and not, try to be the maverick.
Right. I like that, because maybe, in my worldview, maybe this person wants to step down from a leadership position and is encouraging others to take it on.
Well, it almost feels like the maverick role for the mutables is just something that kind of came, and it doesn't really sit as easily, and that this is closer to more where the mutables may be at.
You guys are so easygoing, honestly.
All right, so finally that comes to card 4, the use of your modality superpowers to best advantage. How does this work?
Well, it works with the moon reversed.
Well, there are those, kind of intuitive things going on about, your signs.
Well, with the moon reversed, I think this is saying you realize you've come to the realization that this is the right thing to do. That's what I think it is here. To go with the flow you change when necessary. So if it means you have to kind of set aside your leadership ambitions for a while, you may be realizing that that's the right thing to do at this time, and that you need to do this because why? You're playing fair, and you're selfless, and you're quick to help others. There's many of your superpowers that can come into play here.
The moon reversed could be saying that the context gets put together and you realize where your strengths really lie, how you can actually address the knowledge you've learned and put it into function. I know that's vague, but that's what I got.
Okay. Well, I really think this is an interesting month for the mutable signs.
For all of them, in a way.
Everybody had some interesting readings, absolutely. But I think this one really strikes me in that it's so selfless, I feel. This is what I feel. Maybe ultimately you will get something out of this, because if you're mutable, you go with the flow, but you kind of realize when you go down, you go back up again. And so you're going with that flow and riding the waves. And right now, the wave is saying step down, okay? Step down, let other people be up here. Let them help guide them to assume the leadership position. And you just know that this is going to be the right move for you to make. The people will respect you for that.
Fish gotta swim.
Yeah, I like it.
I know that's more Piscean than not, but I like the analogy of the waves working there. And that's the idea of mutability, is that, not everything is a straight line. Sometimes we do have to figure out how to navigate and surf through those things. The Queen of Wands maybe is the acceptance that sometimes this is not your strong suit, is being aggressive, and that sometimes it is better to find the way to support others and play the role of teamwork. I like this.
I do. Nice job.
I think you put it together really well.
Well, thanks, everybody. We're glad to do this every month for you. And if you like it, please hit the like button on our show. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We so appreciate you. And do come to our live shows. They're getting really lively lately. We've got a wonderful chat going on. Love to see you there.
We're moving towards February, and for that is Super Tarot Love Month, where we will try to increase the ideas behind Valentine's Day as well as tarot. Come on, where's those hearts at?
It's not going to work now.
They just won't make it.
Okay.
Not this time.
Well, at any rate, Super Tarot Love Month, and just because the Lions are not in the Super Bowl does not mean that we won't be doing a Super Bowl prediction.
That's right.
We sure will. So stay tuned for that.
This will be our 5th year, yeah.
Yeah, and we still are above 50-50.
All right.
All right. Hey, everybody. Take care. Have a great month ahead. Happy birthday to our Aquarius friends. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.